Welcome once again for another episode of Wisdomization. As we say here, to wisdomize is to make something wiser, to pour wisdom into something, to expand our consciousness, to broaden the horizon of our understanding and perception beyond this three-dimensional programming in which humanity is trapped. The three-dimensional reality is the program of the machine. The machine is something a lot of people call the matrix. The matrix is what engineered us to be at the level of comprehension or awareness that we have today. And the matrix wants to make sure that you don't have expanded consciousness, that you don't develop your multi-dimensional spiritual self. The matrix wants to focus your attention here in the three-dimensional reality of time and space. But we are celestial beings who are experiencing physical, who are having physical experience. We are angelic beings that have fallen into matter. We fell into matter and we are in a quarantine. So anyone who incarnates, we talk about physical incarnation, soul incarnation. If we incarnate in this physical realm, it means that we are quarantined. We are here in a quarantine. And why are we in a quarantine? Because we rebelled. We don't remember that. We don't remember that we rebelled against the high Eon, or rather we followed the leaders of the rebellion. These are fallen angels. With our souls, we are tricked. We followed the leaders of the fallen angels to descend into this realm, to descend into a reformatted material existence or material reality. So the body you see that is housing your soul is actually a prison system for your soul. And that is why when you die, what happens to your soul? It escapes the prison. It leaves and goes to the other multi-dimensional aspect of reality. When you read the book of the Apocalypse or the book of Revelation, you hear the description that when the dragon was cast out of heaven, what happened? We are told he used his tail to drag 1/3 of the stars to this realm, to the earth. What is he talking about? He's talking about soul incarnation. Because the reason we are here as souls manifesting the physical plane is because we are those 1/3 of the stars that were dragged out of heaven, or the high Eon. I use the concept the higher Eon or the upper Eon because the heaven is very limited. We are dragged down to this realm and imprisoned by the demiurge. So you live in the realm of the enemy. You exist in the plane of the enemy. You exist in the plane controlled by what the Bible said, the God of this world. Because it is the God of this world who reformatted the material plane as a prison for soul consciousness. So you are a prisoner. And this is one of the reasons why the people who control the world, remember, people who control the world are working for other hyper-dimensional reality that you don't understand or you don't know about. The reason in the mainstream system they don't emphasize metaphysical knowledge or metaphysical science is because if they expose you to metaphysics or metaphysical science, you are going to escape the great demiurge. You are going to escape the devil. You are going to leave the machine system. You are going to escape the matrix. You are going to escape the programming, the mass behavioral engineering, the mass cognitive singularity. You are going to escape it, but they don't want you to escape it. They want you to perpetually exist in this state of slavery. Just imagine that you have been locked up in a maximum security prison. You have been incarcerated in this maximum security prison with prison guards, trained prison guards with their security watchdogs, with their security cameras all over the place. Do you ever believe or think that the security architecture within that prison will call you up one day, sit you down and tell you the blueprint or how to escape the prison? Will they sit you down and tell you this is what to do? These are passcodes to the doors. Go and punch in this passcode and the door will open and you escape. No, they will not do that. And if you believe that the security architecture of a maximum security will call a prisoner out and teach him how to escape, then you must have known something I don't know, or the rest of us don't know. Because we know they will not do that. What they will do instead is to intensify the security system, to make it absolutely impossible for you to escape, for you to even imagine the concept of escaping, right? So you've internalized emotionally and cognitively the prison to be your home. So this is the condition of soul who incarnate in the physical matter. We live here in the physical realm and we have internalized this physical body as our true self. And that brings me to the topic we have today. We've heard people talk about personality. Personality. What does it mean? Persona. You see people describing somebody as, he has a contagious, infectious personality. He has a big personality. We've heard people talk about ego. What are these things? These things are false identities. These are false selves that was like a program, like a computer program that were inserted into the program of creation after the fact. What I'm trying to say is that what you call personalities were not in the original blueprint of your soul programming. They came later, and they were programs, or rather viruses, inserted within the frequency band that controls this reality by the demiurge and his archons. The demiurge is what the Bible describes to us the God of this world. The God of, I think in the epistle of St. Paul to the Ephesians, he described the devil as the God of this world that has blinded the minds of the people from contemplating the higher dimension or the higher realm. So personality is a false construct. Personality was not in the original programming of our souls. They came later as a result of the fallen angels reformatting this physical plane. They created personality, inserted personality. I'm trying to use an analogy here because I'm talking of metaphysics, things that are beyond physical. We don't have words to describe reality that are transcendental, so we try to invoke the concepts and the words and knowledge and sentences that we are used to. When you build a computer, when you design a computer, you can insert a virus into that computer. So that is how what we call personality was inserted into us. And people have been focusing on this false ego, on this false identity, and assuming that these false identities were their real selves. Not at all. It was not in the original blueprint of creation of our original soul. Personality was not there. Just look at etymology. Look at the origin of that word personality. It came from Latin, persona. What does it mean? It means the mask. So what people describe as, this is my personality. That is your personality. When you decode etymological derivative, the etymology of that word, it means mask, persona, false character, a role, a social role you're playing. So it's like an actor or an actress is given a role to play. Will you say that the role which the actor is playing is the real person? No. It's a character. It's a mimicry. It's a falsehood. So that is how we were programmed here in the three-dimensional reality by the fallen angel, by inserting a virus within the electromagnetic field frequency, within the bandwidth frequencies that controls you. I'm talking of metaphysics right now. I know many people cannot conceived metaphysics because it's not being taught in schools, it's not being promoted. So when I say this kind of thing, it looks out of place for so many people. It doesn't make sense because that is not what the machine has put into them, has programmed into them. Remember, there was original creation. There was original creation. Our soul existed in the primordial, had a primordial existence before it came to this physical plane. And the reason we manifested in the physical plane is because, as I said, we follow the rebellious ones. And the rebellious ones are the ones who build the prison planet. They build this dimension as a prison where they drag souls down and capture you here. You are in prison, you cannot see it, you cannot perceive it, and that is why you don't believe that you are in a prison. But you are in a quarantine. The higher eon, what Christians may call the heaven, but I don't want to use the word heaven because it's very limited, it's very narrow. The higher eon, the upper eon quarantined you because of that rebellious consciousness, because of the decision to follow the fallen angels into matter. And the reason the fallen angels, the great demiurge, is the leader of these fallen angels, and his archons, what you call the archons, are these spiritual machines. They are the mind, the thought forms coming from the demiurge. Remember, the demiurge is the grand architecture of the physical plane. I'm going to say it again. The demiurge is the grand architecture, the creator. No, he did not create because the devil cannot create. So what demiurge did is to reformat the already existing eternal matter or astral matter by condensing astral matter to congeal as material reality. It slowed down vibration in order to manifest what you call physical reality. Density, right? But in actual sense, what you see as density, what you see outside of you is an illusion. It does not exist, but because modern quantum science are already confirming that when you reduce atom, remember atom is the basic building block of all reality or physical reality. When you reduce atom to its basic minimum, right, to its basic fundamental existence, right, you see that electron has no physical density. Electrons have no physical density. What does this mean? So they don't exist in time and space. This is not just metaphysical thinking. This is also quantum physics talking, right? Quantum physicists, this is what they're telling us because they're just beginning to catch up with what metaphysicians have been talking about for ages, that electron has no physical density. It is our consciousness, it is our thought form that manifest what you see in the physical world. This is beyond a lot of people's mind programming because that's not what the society conditioned us to believe in, but that is reality. So your self, what you call your physical self, does not exist, is an illusion. And the reason the demiurge inserted this frequency, this distorted frequency called personality, is so that you focus your attention on this specific point in matter. It is your personality, which is a virus program introduced into the electromagnetic field frequency that runs this world, that condenses your attention, that captures your attention to be focusing on your physical self and assuming that your physical self is you. Your physical self is not you. There's something in that you're using your physical self as a vessel. That is your soul. And that is what they don't want you to understand. Because all social programming, all educational programming, all religious programming is designed to focus your attention on the dense material world. And that is why modern science is purely focused on anthropocentric materialism. They focus on the physical characteristics of man alone, to the neglect of this soul level, of this transcendental nature. That is the reason why many sciences today have been shifted to take the part of materialism. Materialist thinking is people who believe there is no spiritual dimension to reality. Everything is physical. There's no, everything is here. That once you die, there's no other dimension. This is what they are programming the world to believe in. That is why they are de-emphasizing, or rather, not emphasizing the teaching of metaphysics. Because when you understand metaphysics simply means meta, beyond physics, beyond physical. Knowledge that is esoterical. Knowledge that is hidden from the plain view, from the plain conceptualization or perception of the masses. So as I said, understand the nature of things. Remember, what you see outside you is not what is. There's no physical reality. There's no physical self, because when you examine atom, when you examine electron, and your body, your physical body, this carbon-based 666 you call your physical body, is composed of electrons. And when you reduce electron to its barest minimum, it lacks density, which means electrons are spiritual, which means the world is spiritual. So if the world is spiritual, how come you're seeing physical things? Because that is the illusion. I tell you, you live in a state of illusion. You're hallucinating. You're hallucinating. You believe that the world outside you exists, and that is one part of the program that the demiurge or fallen angel or Satan has conditioned into the physical realm to trick you. You're dreaming. This is not your real self. You wake up, you go to the market, you buy this. This is illusion. This existence is an illusion. Nothing physical exists. Because if you see things as God sees it, everything exists as a universal cosmic quantum wave. Everything is wave, everything is energy, and everything is vibration. So when you focus on this thing called personality, is a program, is a virus inserted within the field frequency, electromagnetic frequency that controls this world. And that came later by the fallen angel. I keep saying it. This thing called personality was designed to trap your attention in matter. That is not you. When you hear people talking about this is my personality, they're ignorant. They don't understand metaphysics. They don't understand the true nature of existence or the true nature of reality. And that is why everything we do here is designed to focus on this false ego. It's a virus. You're feeding the virus. You're feeding the false identity, and then to the negligence of what matters, and that is your spirit, that is your soul, because that is what persists beyond this physical realm, right? And they don't want you to expand your consciousness, to know that reality is multi-layered, like onions. You just focus on one layer of the onions. You neglect these other multi-dimensional layers. That is what the machine is designed you to do. The machine is the cultural, the traditional, the social, the political, the economic, the religious programming, social behavioral programming you received beginning from your parents. Remember, when you incarnate here, we are souls. We're not just people. We are souls. So when you incarnate here, your parents, we are the first to condition you, because they too are agents of the matrix. It's not because they're evil, but because they too have lost the knowledge of the true origin of where we came from, where our souls came from. They don't understand. So they engineer you to follow the program. You go to school, you go to church, or my parents were Muslim, so I have to be Muslim, or converted to another religion. All these systems are run by the machine. The machine is designed by the great architect. Who is the great architect? Is the God of this world. I read a book by a guy who goes by the name Master Teacher 33. And I think his real name is Dr. Will Rogers. Dr. Will Rogers. And this book is called Cosmocratus. And he broke down what I am saying here. He broke down the fact that the physical world you see was not created by, quote unquote, good God, as we have been programmed. That's what everybody believes. And that's why what I'm saying here might sound like gibberish to a lot of people, because it's outside the program, it's outside the machine, it's outside the matrix. So Dr. Will Rogers tells you that this world was created by Cosmocratus. The God of this world, he is the demiurge. He is what you guys, Christian, Muslims, or other religion call the devil. He did not create, he reformatted the physical density by condensing light to assume physical nature as a prism for souls who are descending here, for souls that he is tricking to descend into the physical plane. So if you look at the symbol of Freemason, these people understand reality more than the ignorant masses in the population. If you look at the symbol of the Freemason, you see the square and the compass. And at the center of the square and the compass paired together, what do you see? You see the word, the letter G. They're talking of the grand architect, because these people know something other people don't know, because these are the people who program you to believe the kind of religion you believe in. They know things deeper, and they give you exoteric, they give you the plain knowledge so that you don't understand esoteric information. They give you like fairy tale. That's what they give you in religions. And once they do that, you are messing around with all this nonsensical religious teaching, not understanding the actual condition of existence, the actual condition of souls here. The reason they write G in their logo, in their symbol, is because they know because they are in the known. They know they are talking about the grand architect of this world. They're talking of Satan, the creator of the physical manifestation, the God of this world. Why do you think the Bible, I think in the Gospel and the Epistle of St. Paul to the Ephesians, why do you think St. Paul said the God of this world? Because he's the creator, he's the cosmocrator, the God who created the physical cosmos, the material cosmos. I know this goes against our religious programming, because they don't want you to know the truth of the condition of souls here. That is why nobody teaches this in the church. Even if you teach this in church, people walk away because it goes against the programming, because I've been conditioned by the machine. You watch the movie again called The Matrix. In that movie, they tell you everything you need to know, because the writers of the movie called Matrix, they are talking about high metaphysical concept. Like they summarized the entirety of the Bible and the quantum world and the esoteric world and the astral world together in just that simple movie. Well, it's not simple anyway, but they condensed a lot of information in that movie. The writers are highly occult, highly esoteric. So I recommend people to watch the movie called The Matrix over and over. It's not just entertainment. It's not entertainment. It's an advanced esoteric information they coded there. At a point, there was a scene where Neo walked into a simulation room, and he met this character who identifies as the architect. The architect. He called himself the architect. That character represents Satan, represents the creator of this cosmic realm. And he told Neo that I'm the creator of the Matrix. I'm the designer of the Matrix. What they're trying to tell you in that movie is that it was Satan who created the physical realm. I know a lot of people might find this difficult to believe. But as I said, a lot of people are in the program. A lot of people's consciousness are trapped in the machine, in the matrix. They are in the program. They are behaviorally, spiritually, religiously engineered to follow the system, to follow the matrix. So it's the same grand architect, the designer of the matrix in that movie that the Freemason talked about when they write that symbol G. The grand architect is the God of this world, is called the demiurge. The demiurge projects his mind as parasites, his thought form as parasites to infect this dimension, in order to use that thought form as frequency to control our REM. Remember, everything is energy. There's no physicality. The physical things you see is an illusion. When you leave this realm, you're going to see the world is a realm of energy and vibration and frequencies. So when you see me, when I see you, what I'm seeing, what I should be seeing is frequency and energy. And even science today have proven that surrounding all of us are something called bioelectric field. You have bioelectric field or biomagnetic field. There's bubble of light, bubble of energy surrounding you, right? And these bubble of energies are frequencies. They can be coded. You see how you code computer? A program can be inserted within your bioelectrical field. And if you're dealing with advanced civilization way advanced than humans, the satanic realm, the fourth dimension. If you're dealing with the fourth dimension, they are more technologically advanced and they understand this quantum vibration. They understand this energy form that exists in things, and that is what they program. That is how they came to program you to believe that what you call persona or personality is you. Personality is a virus. So if you spend your whole existence, your whole earthly life perfecting your personality, you know that you feed in a virus. Literally. Because the prime creator, the original creator, sees your what you call your personality as a virus. And that's partly why you're quarantined here. Until you get rid of that, you are not going to return to the higher eon. That's why you're quarantined here. And that is why you keep being recycled over and over, because your thought form is trapped within the three-dimensional programming. Most of the religions we gravitate into are all part of the machine. The machine is the system that controls this world, and you're born into it. So you're born into prison. There are children whose parents maybe committed atrocities, and they, who are born in prison. Maybe their mom was pregnant when she committed atrocity or some crime, and he was arrested and tried and sentenced. So you have children who are born into prison. You are that. You are born into prison system, but you don't realize that you're in a prison. So do you think if a woman gives birth in prison and the child is 4 years, 5 years old, the child is going to know they're in prison? That is reality for them. That is how many of you see this world. You see this physical incarnation as a home, but actually you are in a quarantine. You are quarantined because you are infected by the mind of the demiurge. You are deceived. There's an infection in you. That infection came from the mind of the demiurge through the projection of the archontic machine. Archons are the frequency that came from the mind of Satan. Satan is not like a physical being. You're talking of frequencies, folks. You're talking of frequencies, we're talking of energies. So there are energy that are negative, which has infected you and infested you, and you have believed that your infection is you. That's dirty. That sounds so repulsive. It's like having a leech, right? Stuck to your body, and you're feeding that leech. That's what you call your personality. You're feeding it. Like having a bug or having a virus or a cold, right? Which is a virus, right? And you believe that bacteria, that virus is you. And instead of getting rid of it, you're feeding it. So this thing you called your personality is a design, is a program by the fallen angel. This thinking goes beyond a lot of people's programming. And many people are like, what are you talking about? Everybody has personality. If everybody is infected by a virus, that doesn't mean that the virus is external. It could be gotten rid of. So ego, personality, persona are masks. That is why even plain language, plain etymology is the word root. When you look at the word root of personality, it came from persona, Latin. It means character. You're acting something that is not you. You're wearing a mask, right? You're acting a social role. It's a program. So But if you understand this from a metaphysical point of view, you know that your personality is a program inserted within the bandwidth frequencies that surrounds you, right? That surrounds you to infect you. The reason they did that is so that you have something called hive mind. Hive mind is another program that the demiurge or Satan or Lucifer inserted within the frequency band of this reality. That's why a lot of people think in group. It's called group think. Group think is part of the program. Group think works because you have personality. You want your personality to agree with other social programming, with other people. And that is why when people don't want to be alone, people don't want to do things alone. People can do evil because they don't want to be alone. They just want to join the group and do what the group does. It's also part of the program, part of the virus that has been inserted within this physical manifestation to possess us. So your personality is a possession. Something possessed you. You know, this is beyond a lot of people's thinking. Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make sense because we have not been taught how to think metaphysically. So if you spend your time pursuing your ego, your physicalized self, you are feeding a leech. You're feeding a bacteria, a virus that has infected you. So how do you get rid of that virus? It should be your ultimate goal. The reason many people don't understand themselves as a subsistent spiritual being, soul being, is because they're focused on the external personality characteristics. And this is by design. This is by the fallen angel. It's by design of the fallen angel. And the reason many people look for happiness, again, outside of themselves, they think that other people can make them happy. Nobody makes you happy. I'm going to say it again. Nobody makes you happy if you realize yourself as a subsistent soul. There's no happiness outside you. What you're chasing to be happiness is actually you're looking for your true self. That's what you're looking for. And you should go inside, not outside. No man, no boyfriend, no friend you have, no mentor, no wife or children can give you that inherent soul satisfaction. And that's why people spend a lot of time chasing things outside themselves, never being happy, because happiness is not in people, it's not in things, it's introspective. And that's why the society today does not encourage introspective thinking. They want to make you think in a materialist pattern of reasoning, and something I call anthropocentric materialism. That is what the whole society is being conditioned now. Focus on anthropocentric materialism. Even in the churches, the prosperity gospel is part of anthropocentric materialism. This idea, this conditioning that all you need is money, that if you worship God, you have material things. But look, for example, the designing of a US dollar. Look at the symbol. The symbols are symbols of Lucifer. So it's not actually God who is blessing you with that money, because God did not create that. When I say God, I mean the true one. I'm not talking of the fallen angels who claim to be God in this realm. Look at the symbol of a dollar, all seeing eyes, all these owls, all these sigils and signals are satanic. So it wasn't the true creator who designed those that you invest your life energy to focus, because you're pursuing those things outside of you because you think they'll feed the beast. The beast is this carbon-based body you are wearing like a suit called 666. It's the beast you're feeding. And that is what your persona is designed around. You're feeding your personality. But when you die, what happens? Your personality ends. The other side, there's no personality. It's a subsistent soul consciousness that exists. That's why when you die, what happens? Your body drops, it rottens, it's buried. The worm will eat you up, and some people like to be incinerated in the oven. But then the soul exists as energy form. It goes to join this universal, cosmic, interdimensional energy realm. So you exist as an energy, not as a physical being. Not as a physical being. So this is the nature of event in our world. This is the nature of the true nature of reality, not what they are telling us in the mainstream system, because the mainstream system is the machine. I keep saying the machine. You live in the system of the machine, and the machine traps your consciousness from higher evolution, from higher evolving to this other multi-dimensional reality. They want to trap you here, and you're being recycled. You die, you're born again. You die, you're recycled again, over. And that's again what the church don't want to teach, or religions. They just want to teach you that you die, you go to heaven. Many people don't go to heaven. They are recycled in the three-dimensional plane of existence. They come here over and over by the archons, by the demiurge, by Satan, by Lucifer, right? And as you come in here back and back, the prison is being intensified because they don't want you to escape. Because the thing, like when you have a lot of knowledge, a lot of metaphysical knowledge, a lot of soul, expanded soul awareness, you know that the goal is to die and not come here again. That is the primal goal. That is the primal goal, to return to where you are cast out. And that is the higher eon. If you spend all your life pursuing people, pursuing things, pursuing material things, these are external, these are illusions. Remember, nothing exists. The beautiful cars, the houses, they don't exist. Why do we have matter? Why do we perceive things physically? Because of resistance within electromagnetic field, force, right? The force within electromagnetism. When they come together, you have something. You have concrete things. You have an object. But on a real quantum level, there is no physicality. Because, as I said, reduce electron to its barest minimum. It is light. It is spiritual consciousness. And it is your thought process that manifests what you see in the world. So it is your brain that projects this illusion and fits your consciousness with this illusion of the existence of a physical world. So those who understand this will understand themselves. And when you understand yourself, the physical world out there will mean nothing to you. You become like Neo in the movie called Matrix. You know, when he woke up from sleep, you know, and a lot of people in the world are sleeping. When he woke up, he knew how things work. He see that the majority of people on this planet are blindfolded. You see that humanity is plugged into the matrix, into the machine that's feeding them with false information. And that is how things work from esoteric point of view, from spiritual point of view. You are plugged into a system that feeds your mind with false information. And the reason is that so your soul will not realize its true identity. The identity you have here as a person is the false identity, is the ego. And the ego is nothing but a virus. So the devil interjected a virus within your aura, within your bioelectric field, to make you believe that you are nothing but dense matter. You are only physical, right? And you have accepted that. And that is why you spend all your life chasing shadows. You know, the wise man Solomon, I think, and the Bible said, vanity upon vanity, all is vanity. All this thing you're chasing, I want to do this, I want to be this, they are in the physical. You should go inward. Your true self is inward. When you realize yourself inward, you don't know, so people rejected me. It doesn't mean anything. Reject me, it does not mean anything, because you have found yourself, your light is inside. You connect back to the prime creator, to your origin. Because the world outside you is deceptive, is disappointing. There's nothing permanent. Everything is illusion. Because you chase things outside, you want to get the best boyfriend, you want to get the best husband, you want to buy the best car, you want to have the best business, right? You want to be the one who is recognized. These are physical. And because of the pursuits of these, you fail to go internal and work on yourself. When you have found yourself, you don't need to find nothing. You are perfect. You're peaceful. You have what you need, because the joy is not outside of you. Joy is inside of you. But if you are chasing personality, you are going to be miserable forever. That's how things work. That is how things work. So the journey, the alchemical work is introspective. Is go inside and work on yourself inside first. Develop your light and let your light shine, and every other thing will be yours. If you don't develop yourself, you're chasing things outside, you're chasing people, you will not get anything. You will not get anything. And I'm not advocating living a miserable life, but when you have come to know yourself, you see the word for everything will be yours. You'll be like God. Everything is yours. Everything will come to you naturally. Everything will be yours. If you don't develop yourself, this other transcendental nature of yourself, if you pursue your ego, pursuing the visible light spectrum, the material things, you want people to recognize you, right? You are going outside of yourself and you're empty. You are empty. And you don't know yourself intrinsically. I think I am going to stop here because I think it's probably 40 minutes. I tended to make this piece like 20 minutes, but anyway, so the self, the ego, the personality we feed is a virus that the devil inserted in the program, in the program that runs this realm, and that has infected us. And it continues to expand and reprogrammed over and over by social, cultural, political mimetics, memes. We have social memes that keep reinforcing, could be religious memes, keep reinforcing the idea that we should focus on what we call personality, not knowing that this is like a leech that has attached themselves to, like a virus that we're feeding, and we should not feed this false sense of self, because that personality is not us. It is a mask created by Lucifer to make us focus on the physical realm, to the negligence of our soul. Again, this is the primordial wave, and I am the wisdomizer. To wisdomize is to make wiser, to make smarter, to elevate our minds beyond the cognition of everybody around you, because most of the people we see, your parents, your teacher, your brother, sister, your uncle, your nieces, your co-workers, their mindset is trapped in the three-dimensional reality. So when you say things like this, once you have been liberated from the mainstream three-dimensional cognition, you see that you don't fit into the world anymore. You don't fit in the world. You find yourself like awkward, because you see that majority of people are walking blindfolded, and people don't understand you anymore because they are still plugged in the system. Remember what Neo was said in the movie? Morpheus is another character in the movie called The Matrix. He told Neo, anyone who is unplugged is an agent. This is important. Anyone who is not unplugged from the religious construct, the mainstream religious construct, from the social programming, from the cultural programming, is an agent. So when you're dealing with people who are not unplugged, know that they can infect you. This is deep. Know that they can interject the code within your bioelectrical field and bring you down. That is why anyone who, when you are awake and people are asleep, you got to try as much as possible to protect yourself cognitively, spiritually, mentally, from being reinfected and from going back to the matrix.